And we're live. Welcome to Music Matters with Jason Tramm, and thank you so much for joining us for our unique podcast community, where we explore the triumphs and challenges of the performing arts world as seen through the eyes of distinguished artists. And thank you so much for helping us grow. We hit 2,135 subscribers this morning, and we grow every day thanks to people like you who watch our content, leave likes and comments, and recommend us to your friends. So thank you. It means the world to us. We have a fantastic guest today. We have Joseph Hayward, who is a rising star and a critically acclaimed stage director, and we're delighted he can join us. Welcome, Joseph.
Well, thank you, Jason. It's great to be here.
I've had a great pleasure of getting to know you over the past few months and work with you on a very special project. Why don't you tell us why we're here this morning?
Well, I think we're here to talk about Russian aggression in the East. I'm joking, of course. We're here to talk about A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. And yes, we've had an immense pleasure over these few months putting together this terrific show with an exceptional cast of actors and designers. And now we're ready for an audience.
Now, if you would have told me that a quasi-operetta can win the Tony Award in 2014. I mean, kind of this kind of interesting amalgamation of musical theater and operetta. I would have thought you were crazy, but what is it about this show that makes it so special?
There's so much. I mean, every time we step into the rehearsal room, I'm just floored by the writing of the show. I mean, it is so smart, so clever, and above all, funny. And even at this late stage in the process, we're just still discovering so much in the script. It is so layered and so delicious for all these actors. And there's so much opportunity with it. I think it took everybody by surprise when the show came out on the scene and what an immense hit it is, or it was, because it's just so utterly delightful. And continues to be.
It is just an extraordinary piece of musical theater and comedy, and I mean the book is just so clever. Every time I hear the jokes, it just grabs me. And watching our actors make it come alive has been such a joy for me. So can't wait to see what happens on opening night, which is tomorrow at the South Orange Performing Arts Center, also Sunday at 2:00, and next weekend as well. What is something that this show has taught you about directing?
Wow. I think it's just reinforced my belief about how important collaboration is. And I think we've had a beautiful collaboration with everybody on this process. I mean, watching all these elements come together during tech has been so rewarding. I mean, everybody is working so hard to make the show as beautiful as it can be. And I think all that good work is really shining through right now. I mean, it takes a village. And I'm just so grateful for everybody's tremendous efforts.
It certainly
to get
does.
us where we are.
It certainly does. What's your philosophy of working with actors and working with different departments? What's your overarching philosophy in your work?
Yeah, well, my first devotion is to the script. My second and third devotion is to the script. And my final devotion is to the script also. So if it's not on the page, it's not on the stage, is what I always say. And I think that just informs every decision I make. And certainly I think we spend a lot of time with the actors sitting and talking about the scenes before we got up on our feet, which I think is just so valuable. I mean, there's so much to mine there. And the same is true with the designers. I mean, CJ, who designed our glorious set, we had initially wanted to step away from what they had done on Broadway and what in our research we'd seen regionally and come up with a new concept for it. And there was a lot of scene study and script study to get us where we are today. And he's the one who had this wonderful idea to set the whole show inside the Dysquith family mausoleum, which as soon as I heard that, I thought, what a funny idea.
Shout out to C.J. Howard, who has constructed an amazing set, and it's so creative and brilliant.
Totally. And boy, the more we play on that set, the more I realize what a good idea it was. It's so versatile how it starts as that mausoleum made out of marble with all the Dysgriff family busts on it, but when you're at a scene at Highhurst Castle, it looks like the castle, or when you're at the scene where they're playing Hadda Gobbler on the stage at the Royal Drury Lane, it looks like a theater. It's he's done a beautiful job.
Really spectacular. And I hear there's some challenges with costuming in this show. Why don't you describe to us some of the... this show has got such myriad production challenges. So, for example, tell us about the challenge that you have as director working with the costuming and what that's like.
Well, you'd think it would be an enormous challenge, but with Joe Kastner, he made the process so easy peasy as it possibly could be, and has really triumphed, I think, in his design. The challenge, of course, is that one actor who plays 9 roles.
9 roles. Let that sink in, people who've never seen this show and who are going to come. One actor plays 9 roles. 2 of them are women, and the rest are crazy. It's just, and the costume changes happen like almost instantaneously.
We're talking seconds. And the backstage dressers and our actor playing the Dysgriff roles, Jimmy, they're all must be working their butts off backstage because they're making the changes. I think his fastest one is in 14 seconds.
I've never even heard of such a thing. That's always so wonderful when you have that crazy a challenge. But that's what we do as I'm a conductor. So similarly, I solve problems as a conductor, and that's what you must do as a director. And it's how to solve problems, how to manipulate that, and make it work to your advantage.
Certainly, and it's taken a lot of paperwork to get where we are now.
It always reminds me, as a conductor, everyone sees me up there waving my arms around, but that's the very end of the process. The real process happened months ago when you put the project together and you put the team together. And I think that's where, and you take an enormous amount of credit for that, Joseph. You've put together a beautiful team together, and it's been fun to watch the people gel and to watch people add their talents each individually.
Absolutely, and of course, a special shout out to you and everyone at Light Opera New Jersey who have supported me and you every step of the way and helped us put together this wonderful show.
What do you want the audience to know about this show and specifically your interpretation of this show?
Yeah, well, firstly, I hope they have a great time. I mean, it's funny. So, that's what I really hope they take away, that they're entertained by it. But as I was watching our final dress rehearsal last night, what really struck me about the show is watching our lead character, Monty, his love for his mother and how far he'll go to right that wrong. And he really becomes a criminal. I mean, he becomes a serial killer.
Serial killer,
should
yeah.
not be rooting. Yeah, we should not be rooting for him, yet we are. Which I think takes us back to the writing and how wonderfully they've pulled the wool over us and had us rooting for this killer. And how delightful it is to watch that sort of all unfold. And as he rises amongst the ranks, it sort of calls into the question the collapse of his moral character. It's really about the rise and fall of this one man, I think.
Yeah, he's a pretty dynamic person. Certainly the actor is, but also it's written so brilliantly. The songs are so engaging, and to watch him go through the murdering process, it's pretty. He starts very timidly with the murders, and as it goes, he gets more and more confident and assured of his skill.
And starts to enjoy it, which is pretty gruesome.
He does revel in it. It's pretty interesting. I think the music is certainly so catchy, and there's so many earworms. I've been walking around singing all the melodies all morning, and we've been living in it, obviously, but they still like engage and they delight, and I think that the audience is going to be in for just a treat on this production.
Absolutely. When all of us are getting the train home back to New York, everybody is humming the tunes from the show, just under their breath. It's hilarious. Um, it's all stuck in our head, and boy, what a great score to have stuck in your head.
Going to give a special shout out to our cast members. It's got a small ensemble cast, but even every member of the cast has multiple roles, multiple costume changes, multiple functions in it, and I cannot stress how really incredible they are doing, and I'm so proud of each and every member of the cast. We have James Conrad Smith as the Dicewith family, playing 9 roles, Joey Nasta playing Monty Navarro, Rebecca Monk playing Sibella, Sophie Thompson playing Phoebe, Susie Spidell, Lauren Rathbun, Gabriella John Greco, Jason Tomaszowski, Leo Weissmantel, and Dan Malloy, who are all our cast members, and I'm just delighted to everyone to see how hard they've worked.
Me too. We're very lucky to have them.
Any final thoughts on A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, which opens up tomorrow at the South Orange Performing Arts Center?
I hope everybody comes to see all the tremendous work we've done to see this wonderful show. You'll have a great time. And if you don't, just tell everybody you saw a bad Cinderella. But a good time is guaranteed.
And Joseph, I know you also work for the York Theater. That's your full-time job. Tell us about what's at the York has coming up.
Yes, well, the York is about to have the return of our Musicals in Mufti series. We haven't done them in 4 years. Those are staged concerts of shows from the past that we feel are underappreciated and deserve a second chance. And I'll be directing the first Mufti, which is a show called How to Steal an Election, which is a show from 1968. Written by William F. Brown, who wrote The Wiz, and the music is by Oscar Brand, who is the Dean of American Folk Music.
Well, it's certainly a timely chance to bring that show back to life.
Certainly is.
Well, Joseph, I wish you a great day and a successful premiere tomorrow on Saturday of Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, and continued success in all your artistic production.
Thank you very much, Jason, and thank you for everything.
And thank you for joining us on Music Matters with Jason Tramm, this mini edition. We wish you all the best, and remember, keep music alive.